What's up, everybody? Before I hop into this video today, I just wanted to just say thank you. We're almost at 150 subscribers, which is pretty insane. You know, when I started this YouTube channel, my goal by the end of the year was to get to 1,000, and we're on our way. You know, we're on our way slowly but surely. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I want to take a little bit of a change of pace today. Instead of, I've been making, I feel like, some rant videos, but today I just wanted to make a little bit more of a chill slash calm video and just talk about ultimately just that everything will be okay and everything will work its way out. So I guess in the past so many months, and even maybe even last year, I depending on what job I've been working, I've dealt with a lot of anxiety. When I was younger, I really didn't have a lot of anxiety. I was never an anxious person. And I would say overall, I'm still not really an anxious person, but I feel like anxiety kind of creeps up and it shows up in the kind of the most random times. And it's one of those things where you don't really want it to be there, but it just is. It's hard to kind of have anxiety go away. If it was easy to get rid of, I feel like everybody would get rid of it. But long story short, I've been dealing with a little bit of anxiety, and it's just like, when it comes to work, comes to life, am I doing everything I should be? Am I being productive? All these things that I think have been kind of pushed on us, like you need to be a certain person, you need to be, productive more times than not during the day, and all these different things. And I think while some of them are good, I think some of them are a little harmful. But today I just wanted to talk about how, everything will be okay. And even when you're going through, a fit of anxiety that you don't think will ever go away, there's things on your mind, there's things that are probably happening in the future, even in your current life, that you just can't stop thinking about. Just know that I know a lot of people, including myself, have been there, in that it will eventually go away. Everything will kind of work itself out. And when I say that, it's, like you've probably heard the phrase, time heals all. Obviously, in the moment when anxiety is getting to you, the last thing you want to probably think about is, oh, well, in 2 months, this will be gone, or in a week, this will be gone. And I guess what I would say to that is, unfortunately, while it may not be able to go, your anxiety may not go away right away, each day it will hopefully progressively get better. I know there are certain things in people's lives that cause constant anxiety, but overall, and depending on what's kind of going on in your life, your anxiety and certain things in your life will get better over time. There are certain seasons in our life where like things just don't seem to be falling into place. Like everything just makes us anxious or angry or irritated, and that will end at some point. And I'm not going to say it's going to end forever, because I know there will be times where anxiety will spur up again and things in your life will kind of come after you, and things just won't feel like they're in the right place. But just know that, just ultimately just keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, and it'll all be okay at the end of the day. And the reason why I want to talk about this today is I feel like there are times where, especially in my life, life just kind of gets the better of me, I guess. I wake up some days and I'm just not feeling it. There's something just off. And there are, of course, other days where, everything seems to be going okay. And it's not like those 2 days are different from one another. It's just that I think mentally we wake up some days in a good headspace and other days not so much. And I think the same with anxiety. Like I said, I think it comes and goes, but it'll ultimately go. And while it may ultimately come back, I do think there are things that we can do to avoid anxiety. And I want to talk about those things here at the second half of this video. So some of the things that I've been trying to implement in my life to help avoid being anxious, or kind of not allow that anxiety to come back as often, is honestly just slowing down and relaxing. I think in our culture today, especially, I think like algorithms on social media, usually for men especially, is this kind of alpha male grind culture. I've talked about it a little bit in past videos, but it's this idea ultimately of if you are not making a lot of money drop shipping, day trading, selling something, ultimately they make you feel really bad about yourself. And I think ultimately that couldn't be further from the truth. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Ultimately, and I'll make the case for this. I think the world needs more garbage men than it does movie stars. Like, the world needs people to hold it together, right? I would argue that the high performers, if you will, like the 1%, everywhere they go, they leave a path of destruction to a certain degree that your ordinary people kind of have to pick up the pieces. And what all that kind of means is ultimately where I'm kind of going with that is it's okay to be normal. It's okay to be average. It's okay to not be making $100,000 a month or anything like that. In fact, I think a lot of us are wired to not be the center of attention, not be the ones getting all the glory and the fame and this and that. And I think it's okay to be super normal, to be super, I guess you could say just like average overall. You know, I would say chasing something that you may or may not even want is maybe the root cause of a lot of that anxiety. I know financial stress leads to a lot of anxiety, but you know, at the end of the day, ultimately when it comes to finances, most of the time we're chasing something that we don't even know. It's just ultimately, hey, how can I make more money, right? Even if you were to save up for a really nice car, a really nice home, let's say you even get one of those two things at a certain point, you get that item or you get that house. And if you use it long enough, it'll just become normal. It'll just become average. You know, there's people out there that have Lamborghinis and Ferraris and they hop in those cars. And while they are something special, at the end of the day, all they're essentially doing is getting you from point A to point B at a very functional level. So what I would say ultimately is just to relax and take each day as it comes. I've really been trying to slow down in my life recently. I feel like the years, the days, the months, and the weeks just go by so fast. And honestly, I've been trying to just read more books and really slow down. Just nothing's wrong with just sitting on the couch and reflecting on your life, or sitting in your backyard, or just going to a park. You know, whatever's a calm place for you to go. There's nothing wrong with just spending a couple hours there, right? It's okay to not be productive every moment of the day. In fact, humans were never productive every moment of the day. And the ones who were forced to be productive every moment of the day were more than likely slaves, right? And hopefully, if you're watching this, you're not involved in any of that in this modern age. But with your ability to choose what you do each and every day, I just urge you to focus on relaxation. While of course there are times to be very productive and times to get stuff done, I think it's when we overstimulate ourselves that's where a lot of that anxiety can ultimately come from. So I just want to conclude, and I just want to, like I said, just wanted to take a break from what I feel like have been some ranty videos these past couple videos, but ultimately just, it's okay to relax. It's okay to take some time to yourself. It's okay to just reflect and unwind a little bit. And, you know, it's one of those things, you don't have to solve everything all at once. You know, you probably heard the saying a million times, Rome was not built in a day. And so relax, it'll be okay. Take some time to yourself. And I can't promise anxiety will never come back, but I do believe that it will not rear up as much as it usually does. So I hope everybody's doing well who's listening to this. Have a great rest of your day and more videos to come. Thank you so much.